Welcome back to Fast Market, everyone. Kevin Hinks here, back. We've given Tom White the rest of the day off. He's going to start making his way towards New York in our Charles Schwab Market Drive tomorrow morning. Now, let's get to our cash tag segment. And for that, I want to bring in the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, Mr. Landon Swine, of the show. He's going to talk about a name that should be on everyone's lips right now, and that is Google Alphabet. Landon, their core business, search, put them on the map, right? Their name was a verb. Now they're Google Alphabet, but their other businesses, I'll read them: generative AI, cloud advancements, quantum computing, throw in some streaming with YouTube, throw in Waymo. Landon, is Google, if you're investing in Google, are you investing in the future of this country and this economy? Because they seem to be in every aspect of it.
Yeah, you've got to be. I mean, that's the play on Google, and I love that you say throw in YouTube. Like, YouTube's an incredibly massive company, but yeah, it is just a throw in with Google because they're so big. That just kind of shows how much they dwarf that subsidiary. But yeah, I mean, when you're talking about Google, you have to be thinking about the future because, you know, they completely changed the game 20, 25 years ago. I mean, if you can go back in your mind to Ask Jeeves and Dogpile and Yahoo, and then who's this new player, Google, and they came to the top and they beat all of those other search engines because the results were better. I mean, that's it. You had to go 3 or 4 pages deep in some of those other search engines to find what you wanted. With Google, it was always in the first page, and that was a new thing. And then after a while, it was always the top 3. And it just became the default because it was just that much better. However, that, while still true, they're still the best search engine. AI is really flipping that. And so, you know, they're getting now to the point, in my mind, where they have to start kind of moving into the future and stake less and less on search. Even though it is a significant portion of their revenue, it's going to move. It is moving in the wrong direction for them, and it's going to continue to go that way because of just how powerful AI is. And so people are starting to search on GPT and other platforms. I mean, GPT is hitting 1 billion searches per day, and over half of those end without a click. If you think about when you go to Google, you have to click on something for them to make money. And, you know, for the first time, Google's U.S. search mind share or volume has less than 80% in the U.S. Now, that's a huge number. Obviously, they're the dominant player, but it's going in the wrong direction. While it's still growing, it's actually growing less quickly than it has been in the past. I think, you know, they bumped up like 40%, 43% in 2021, and it's been decreasing. That increase has been decreasing every year. So I'm concerned about that, and I think it's not, you know, this is not something that no one knows about, but I think we have to talk about it because, and you can see here that, you know, how big AI is and all the different tools. We would normally do, by the way, a regular pie chart here, but because GPT dominates it so much, we couldn't even fit the names of the other ones in a regular pie chart, so we had to break them out. GPT is 84%, and you can see that Google Gemini is around 9%, which is great, and they're growing very quickly, but they're still not growing as quickly as some of the others. So there's fierce competition in AI. Google's way behind. Even though they're growing, they're not growing as quickly as Claude or Perplexity, for example. And GPT's lead is enormous. So I think that is the huge concern for Google investors, is search, and where is that going? Because there's a bit of a conflict if you think about, and real quick, we'll talk about this chart. You can see who's growing here, right? So Anthropic's Claude is the number one as far as growth. And then you've got Perplexity. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple ends up owning that sometime. Then you got Google Gemini there in third place. But everyone's growing very quickly, and, you know, plus 150%-ish per year, with Claude dominating at 230. But, you know, AI is taking over, and then, like I said, there's a bit of a conflict between when people are asking for information, whether that's on, you know, a search engine or a site like Reddit or an AI. And the conflict is between the person or the entity giving the answer, wanting to give a great answer to the question, versus wanting to drive that user towards something that generates revenue, right? So Google wants you to get the answer when you go to their search, but they also want you to click on ads. And that's kind of tough. And ads have always kind of conflicted with the user experience, and some have done it well. Pinterest is one of my favorites. They do it well. Some of them are a little bit more intrusive. And there's something you just can't get around. I mean, YouTube, you got to do a pre-roll, right? Or you got to put an ad in the middle of the video. So there's always that conflict. And the problem is that AI right now is just giving the best answer, and it's not worried about generating ad revenue. And so Google's getting beat by that. Now, when you look at where the ad dollars are going, this is a crazy chart because, again, the scale is so skewed by one company. If you look at where Google Ads is, it's dropping at about 7% on a year-over-year basis. Now, this is people going to Google Ads, looking to place more ads and manage their ad dollars. So that's dropping. You've got TikTok. You've got all of them are dropping. Basically, Pinterest is up a little bit, and then you've got Reddit, which is very interesting because they're dominating at plus 130%. The reason is because they don't have the same conflict, because they're not actually in charge of showing you the results, right? You just go to Reddit and there is this natural algorithm that lets the best human answers surface to the top. So when you have a query, and I challenge anybody to do this, put the plus sign and then the word Reddit after it. That'll make sure that all of your search results have Reddit in them. And you go there and you're going to get the answer to your question. Now, before AI, this was really the only way to get a great answer to a question. And I think a lot of people have gotten used to using Reddit for that because it's curated by humans who understand and read and can give you the right answer. So I think that's why Reddit's doing so well on the ad revenue platform, because they're managing that conflict, so to speak, better than some of the others. So it's concerning for Google. Now, that's the search side of things. Now you talk about all the other stuff that you talked about, and it gets really exciting. I mean, cloud computing, that has to go up. I mean, that world is going to increase. AI obviously is going to increase, even if they're not number one with Gemini. Gemini is very strong. I've used all of them. I use all of them a lot, and Gemini is definitely one of the best. It's very strong. So that's going to be growing. Everything that they do is going to be taking off. So search is the main concern, but it should be, because it's the biggest part of their puzzle right now. And so I think all of this is a long way of saying I think what their price action this year is justified. Up and down, kind of sideways, didn't go anywhere, because we're all just waiting to kind of see, are they going to be able to handle this shift to AI instead of search? So, Kevin, give me your thoughts. I know I've been talking for a little while.
Current revenue dominated by advertising spend. It looks like Google Alphabet's trying to diversify away from that and move to other ways to bring revenue in. Landon Swan, great discussion, great information that you brought. That Reddit chart is really enlightening to see how much room they're making up as quickly. That's really interesting. Landon, thanks for coming on as always. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now, so getting to a trade in Google Alphabet.